Hey everyone, welcome to another edition of Trading Bitcoin with your host, Tom Vase. The streams from about 30 minutes ago did not work out. Streaming from a train is not a good idea. And I've deleted those videos, so let's just go ahead and redo it. Sorry about that, guys. But people in the US are probably still asleep anyway, so they won't even know the disaster that just occurred. But this one is going to be good. I am in Rotterdam. I'll be here for 2 days. That was what the train ride was. Just left Bulgaria. The thumbnail still Bulgaria. I didn't get a chance to. They gave me a good haircut in Bulgaria yesterday. Still trying to get the mohawk going. All right, I'm gonna make this quick. I wanna hang out with my friend, have a cup of coffee, maybe have a little breakfast, and let's just review what I did try to do on the train, and we take it from there. Connection here is great with the internet. I'm just sitting on the couch with like holding the laptop. I was too lazy to set up a workstation. All right, this is the daily chart, but I want to talk about the weekly chart. The weekly chart is where is going to be the huge focus this week, okay? Because the weekly chart has just got us a 9. And however, this 9 needs to, it'll stay a 9 as long as we are staying, we have to stay above the 5 candle, not the 6 candle. So this will be a 9 almost no matter what, right? We literally have to stay above this 23% Fibonacci line at 7,000. This will be a 9 as long as we're above 7,000. I'm pretty sure we're going to stay above 7,000 this week. I mean, I'm bearish, but I'm not that bearish, okay? So right now, this is a selling opportunity. However, there's a difference between a sell and the short. Shorts in crypto are very dangerous, okay? I would have gotten my perfect short if this 8 candle was flipped around, or ideally this flipped around 8 candle came on the current week, but that didn't happen. So right now, it's more of a, even if you're a bull, this is what I said in the prior video, right? I was a bull going into this $5,000 area. One of the few bulls actually going into this $5,000 area. And there weren't that many. People were more pessimistic than me at the bottom. I was in long trades. But ever since this $5,000 area, I've been waiting for a pullback. So I did not participate in any of this upside. I am completely non-apologetic about not participating in this upside, right? A missed opportunity is not as dangerous as a loss of your capital. And I continue to wait for my pullback. Now, I believe the pullback is happening right now. Can I be wrong? Of course, okay? Now, a couple of things. If I was in bullish trades, or if I did not sell a piece of a hodl position just above 7,000, I would be selling it here instead, okay? I was also planning on selling a little more piece of my hodl above 9,000, but because we only stayed above 9,000 for a total of 3 minutes, I didn't actually get a chance to do that because I don't have any trading accounts. So for me to sell a piece of my hodl position is a little more complicated than logging in. And even if I did have trading accounts, logging in for me is more complicated than the average person because I'm only in front of a computer a few hours a day. Other than that, I'm traveling or socializing or speaking at events. Anyway, right now we're on a 9 sell. That's exactly what it means, a 9 sell. Now, this is a 9 following a 9. The official textbook sequential will not give you this 9. The official textbook sequential will look something like this. They have a concept of a recycle, which I don't have coded into my code, but because of the way I use sequential, the recycle concept doesn't make sense for my version. Maybe we'll code it in one day. We're also limited on what we can stick into the Pine code. Guys on Wall Street do not have a 9 here, but we do. And I am taking it seriously. What does it mean? On the surface, it means a 1 to 4 candle correction and then reevaluate. I always expect the correction to take place through price, which means dropping. You can see after the last 9, we had a 1 to 4. Oh, awesome. Thank you so much for the coffee. You can see that last time we had a 1 to 4 candle correction, but the correction took place through time, not through price, because we were just flat. I kept waiting for a correction through price, at least into the golden cross, but it never came. And then we broke out. When we broke out, the sequential said buy right here. But then the tethered thing happened. So it was, it wasn't an easy buy for me. So, what's this? Excellent. Oh, cool. Oh, I should put my computer on that. And, but right now, that is a doji candle. You do not get very many doji candles on weekly time frames. In fact, I can't remember the last time the percentage difference. I don't think that's ever happened. Look, the last week gained a total of $1.23 on a $9,000 asset or closer tonight. That is unheard of. That is, this one lost 7. This one gained 16. I don't think that's ever happened before. Probably in Bitcoin since like 2011 or something like that, right? Imagine a week of trading and your candle has a difference of $1.25. Not even that. Insane. Now, according to candlesticks, and in the future, sometime this summer, I'll be doing a webinar only on candlesticks. According to candlesticks, this is not a good short trade because according to the candlestick rules, you're not supposed to short until you go below the bottom of that 8 candle. But that's like another $400 away. And if we fall another $400 right now, it's going to be a little overextended and it's a little too short for a short trade because on a short-term time frame, it can bounce up. But this is a great opportunity to exit your long trades while waiting to get back in above 9,000 because you have a clear metric when Bitcoin is ready to go back to the upside. And it's ready to go back to the upside when the weekly chart can close above setup trend or the weekly chart can get above the top of the 8 candle, and especially if it can close above this blue line. This blue line is very, very important. It's the 38% Fibonacci line. And to those that want to laugh at the 38% Fibonacci line, I want to remind you of gold. Here's the chart of weekly gold. If it loads, which it should. Okay, let me double click on time. That didn't really help much, did it? Let me put the coffee down. Ooh, coffee's great. So the thick blue line is also the 38% Fibonacci line in gold. Now, gold was going down for 5 years, and then it rallied big time. Gold rallied from 1,050 to 1,300. Gold rallied about 30%. And it rallied 30%, and also it went back to its 38% Fibonacci line, and it did it in 2016 in June, exactly 3 years ago. And it still can't break this damn line. Now, gold looks like it's rallying. And like I said, gold did not look good, but the moving average is held. Now let's see if we can break the setup trend line and if we can finally get back above the Fibonacci line. If we can break the 38% Fibonacci line, I will admit that gold is in a bull market and is potentially ready for new all-time highs. Bitcoin needs to do the same thing, but the big difference between gold and Bitcoin, gold, look at this monster pullback in gold, and gold fell from the 38% Fibonacci line all the way down to the 76% Fibonacci line. That's what gold did. Now, obviously, Bitcoin is not gold, but the psychology of traders is the same across all speculative assets. So if Bitcoin gets rejected in the same exact place where gold got rejected, which was 9,400 for Bitcoin, and it looks like we turned at 91. And by the way, don't rule out a spike to 9,400 this week before going down. Anything can happen. But gold went all the way down to the 76% line, right? And I think it bottomed at a 9 when it got there. It did. That's a 7, 8, and there was a 9 that flipped over to a 1 right here, okay? So if we apply the same metric to Bitcoin, and they're both weekly charts, right? So if Bitcoin was to fall from here, and that's a big if, I'm going to delete this Fibonacci set after I draw it. But if I take the top here, if I take the bottom here, and I take it into the top of the 8 candle, notice it came up a little bit shy of that 38% line. Where is a reasonable pullback? Well, the 38% going down is 6,800. I don't like the 50% line, which is 61. And then you have the 62% drop to 54. And if I add that 76%, which is here, and that was the purple line I had in gold, that's down there, okay? And that takes us to 45. Now remember, 45 is the standing bet that I have with Ran of Crypto Trader that Bitcoin will fall below 45 on the pullback. The bet is only for a nice dinner, so I think both of us can afford it. And I'm going to delete this, but that's also assuming the top is in, which I believe that a short-term top is in. The question is this going to be a 1-week pullback, a 4-week pullback, or something way more significant that can go as low as 5 or 4 or whatever, right? I still have not ruled out sub $3,000 lows. I haven't. 99% of all other traders have. I have not, okay? I will wait for my pullback, and hopefully I can do a better job of timing the reversal off the pullback than I did this breakout. And that's all I can promise you, that I will do my best in order to evaluate this market going forward. Okay, that's the weekly chart. Let me look at your live chat. Noticed monthly candles are on a sell countdown 13. Do you have any comments on that? Let's go take a look at the monthly. We have a new month now. I haven't looked at the monthly in a while. And you are correct, sir. Now, oh boy. So this is a tricky one. This is a very tricky one. Thank you for pointing that out. So this sequential 13, where is it coming from? So this sequential 13 is probably coming from this 9 here. Because if I do the math, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Wow, a long delay. We never went, that's right, 13. So, and the setup trend line is here from the last one. So I am not putting too much emphasis on this sequential 13, and I'll tell you why. That's because, and again, if you study this indicator, is because we made yet another 9 on the way up, and this 9 has its own 13. However, However, this is my version of the indicator. The Wall Street version of the official indicator looks like this. And therefore, they never had a 9 here. And they never even had a 9 there. So they have no sequential 13. I thought this sequential 13 would still be around and only this 9 would disappear. But the other 9 has also disappeared. But there would have been a recycle according to their code. This code is very complicated, guys. You can't just sit there and start trading this code. You have to study it. There's textbooks on it. It gets complicated. So the monthly chart is actually very bullish. It's on a 4 of 9 to the upside. And according to the monthly sequential, there's absolutely no reason why we can't go to new all-time highs into the halving. There's no reason not to have that happen. All right, let me get to my version of the code before I get confused. Oh, I keep clicking on the wrong thing. All right, I didn't want to make this video too long. Good question, though. Let me see. I don't know if I can scroll through all your questions. What the hell is with all these links? Holy shit, is this what happens when there's no moderator in the chat? Holy shit. What's going on in the live chat, guys? I mean, if I recognize a name on here, I can make someone else a moderator and you can start banning people, but you'd have to do work. I don't see Agartha. Sorry, guys, I don't recognize any of you. Maybe Dumbo I recognize. You've been in this chat a bunch of times. Everybody wants to be a moderator now. Yeah, it's a lot of spam. You know what? I'll ask, but we'll take care of it. I'm going to ask my moderators, like Bitcoin Motorist, who else he has seen in this chat. That's and I can make more moderators. The advantages that moderators have is that they don't have the 5-minute slow mode too. So I don't mind making, you know, like a few dozen moderators, and then you guys don't have to deal with slow mode, and then I can actually increase the slow mode to like 10 minutes, right? If I have, you know, normal people that can comment. Anyway, wasting time. I didn't want to make this long. Let's go to the daily chart. The daily chart is still bullish, okay? So that means there is no real rush to enter the short trade. Now look at the daily chart. The daily chart gave you a 9 back in May, 16th of May, and it was a good 1 to 4 candle correction. Now I really thought that it would be bigger, but the flash crash happened and we rebounded to new highs. I had this green arrow and I look at how many candles there are here, right? So this was the 2 breaking out above the 1, above the 9. This was the bullish opportunity. And then this is 2, 3, 4, 5. I was hoping this would be a 6. I was hoping this would be a 7. I was hoping this would be an 8. And I was hoping this would be a 9. I was hoping yesterday would be a 9 in the $9,400 range. That would have been my perfect short trade. A 9 yesterday or today in the $9,500 vicinity, in line with a weekly hit of the 38% Fibonacci, and then a swift reversal to the downside, similar to what we're seeing right now, taking us back below the setup trend line and not breaking this dotted line on a end of week closing basis. I would have actually taken time out of my schedule to log in and leverage short this bad boy. I didn't get my perfect trade. I am not going to leverage short a guess, okay? But there could still be a shorting opportunity, because if this price flips to a red 1, and then you get a red 2 below a red 1 on a daily scale this week, in line with a weekly 9, that's 2 major ducks in a row. Now, the 12-hour chart could give you a shorting opportunity on a red 2 going below a red 1 today, later today. Oh, my computer is about to die. So this is going to end quickly. I'm at 35%. I guess I can charge it, but I also want to spend time with my friend. You know, I travel with pretty neat gadgets. You know, this thing will charge your MacBook twice, and my Lenovo once, in full. And I had linked to all of this, but Amazon shut me down because they don't like it when people use my links to shop there, apparently. Anyway, let's go to a 4-hour chart real quick. Oh, flipped in places. The 4-hour chart is, 4-hour chart gave you a nice short trade 6 hours ago or so. And it was also breaking the moving averages, red 2 going below a red 1. So it looks like many time frames are lining up into a short trade. Now, I will say that if the 4-hour goes below this swing low of 8,200, it can really accelerate to the downside. This is the kind of, normally when you consolidate at a high, you expect it to go higher, but not in this case. And the reason why I'm saying not in this case is because I'm a believer in sequential, and sequential is telling you that, hey, you're toppy here. And I did very well looking at sequential on a weekly basis back in the bull market, because back in the days of the bull market, the sequential really helped me time some very critical tops in the bull market, like right here at $1,000 back in late 2016. The sequential was great, even though I wasn't looking at the sequential at that time. In hindsight, sequential would have been very, very nice. By the summer of 2017, I was publicly looking at sequential. And if you go back, I'm going to go and find the video from June where I looked at sequential for the first time publicly right here, and I was able to call this $3,000 top, and then we corrected for 40%. So this is what I'm looking for. Right now, I am looking for a correction in line with what happened in June of 2017. So we are 2 years later. Back then, we had a monster run. We ran up from $900 straight up to 3,000. So we went up, what, 300%? No, 200%. From 1,000 to 3,000 is 200% up, right? We tripled up 200%. Straight up, there was one bearish week, and then we corrected for 40%. Yeah. Right here wasn't as great, came about a week late on the sequential. And now here we go again, right? So now we also went from about 3,000 to 9,000. So we tripled up. We went up 200% again. And we had very little weeks of downside. And let's see if we can get that 40% correction in order to reset and go back to the upside in a more orderly fashion. Hourly chart, probably not interesting. Hourly chart is bearish on a 5 of 9. Short trade just took place a few hours ago. But the short trade on the hourly chart also took place here on a red 4 below a red 3. That was decent. Again, red 2 below a red 1. Stop loss should not have been hit. And then it accelerated down. And now you're on a 5. I'm really curious how the stock market is doing. Interesting. Interesting. So the futures are dropped early on, big gap. The S&P futures should be coming to a bottom on a daily chart very soon. But you still have the sequential problem of 13. The weekly says way more downside. You're only on a 4. I would like to see this stay above the setup trend line, but we're going down very fast. Let's see if the daily can bounce us to the upside. Tomorrow, 124 candle rebound, maybe back to 2,800, and then one more push down for the final yearly low, and then we go to new all-time highs. I'll mention oil real quick. Ooh, this bounced this morning. Oil is a disaster. Should have Leah on to talk about oil and her fundamental analysis. Leah got me on being way more bullish than me. I believe oil is going sub $20 at some point. Oh, that's daily oil. Let's go to weekly oil. Well, let me not get crazy here. Oh boy. So I still believe oil is going to go sub $20 at some point in the future. The books of Stephen Lieb and Michael Rupert that oil will be $200 a barrel by the year 1995 are ridiculous. Okay. I believe oil is going to go sub 20. When? I don't know. Could be 2025, could be 2030, who the hell knows, okay? But I am not an oil bull. I am not, I don't panic. And this, if this breaks setup trend, oil's in trouble. So oil was definitely shortable right there. I know I was late to the trade, but I didn't do it. That's it, guys. I'm going to leave it here. I don't know what else I can show you, really. I believe Bitcoin is pulling back. I trust the sequential. You don't have to trust the sequential. You should have your own metrics. And I know when I'm wrong. I'm wrong when we close above the dotted line. And let's see if we can get at least a 2-day correction or a 2-week correction. Jesus, we need a correction. Anyway, I'm sticking to it. Let me go back to your live chat. Got spam all over the live chat. I don't know, I'll leave it here. Okay. Natural gas next time, guys. Yeah, you're right. I should take a look at natural gas. It's been ages. TradingView is draining my battery, but I'm charging my computer now. Okay. That's it for me. Thank you so much for watching. And I'll be in Amsterdam all week. Check out Bitcoin Wednesday. Oh, I should probably go to my carnivory dinner. Shit, I don't even like, God, I'm a terrible promoter. Let's see. Oh, my next webinar, entries, exits, and stop losses. In July, unfortunately, because I'll be out of town for a while still. Carnivory Club. Go to carnivoryclub.com. We have a menu. Here's our menu for the carnivory dinner. It is absolutely amazing. I don't know if I want to drop names. You know who you are that helped me put this together. Maybe I'll drop the names tomorrow. This is the carnivory dinner. You don't get everything. You get to choose one from each category. I mean, maybe Jimmy can eat all of this, except the vegetables, of course, and the chicken. He'll have the fish for dessert, I'm sure. But this is the carnivory dinner menu, and it's absolutely awesome. So check that out. How do I? You should be able to click on this. Oh no, you just register right there. Okay. You can pay in Bitcoin. You can pay in dollars if you want, or any fiat currency if you like, I guess. Check it out. It's very limited. I think we have about 15. We can only sell maybe 15 seats maximum. Private room, very nice restaurant. That would take place Saturday night. And you can go to my homepage, check out my calendar. Please come to the Bitcoin Wednesday meetup. I think it's either free or very cheap. Right here at Bitcoin Wednesday. It's the oldest meetup in the world, I believe. And check that out. The carnivory dinner is only on Saturday, not on Sunday. Sorry, that's a little bug. On Sunday, I will be on the blockchain cruise, and then I'll be headed to Germany. But I'll be in Amsterdam all week, Rotterdam a couple of days, and then I'm back in Amsterdam. Digitalk was great. Check all that out. On the workshop side, still a workshop here in Amsterdam on Saturday, and you can still buy the on-demand webinars. There'll be one more posted here somewhere today, entries, exits, and stop losses, because people need to know where to set their stop losses. All right, guys, that's it. If you want to support my work, my free work on YouTube, I think registration is done. We got to take this down. Please use the affiliate page. And if you want to buy a cool t-shirt, check out the store. All right, guys, I will see you all on the next video. Thank you so much for watching. I'm going to stop the screen share, and I'll see a lot of you in Amsterdam. Bye, guys.